Hello, everybody. Good morning. So, seeing some faces I haven't seen in a while. Again, my name is Ted O'Brien. I'm your executive director for the Breakers at Edgewater Beach, and had started. I came back for those that. Thank you. Yes. No, it's great to be back. It's like I've shared with everyone, this is for me. I was here for about 4.5 years. To open up another community for senior lifestyle, and was asked to come back, which I gladly accepted. And since the beginning of August, I've noticed that there's been a lot of things that we need to really focus on. One of the first things, as you can probably tell, which we hopefully made some impact on, is the cleanliness of the community. A lot of the common spaces and things. I wanted to make sure that, that's one thing that we can control is the cleanliness, and wanted to make sure that you had the cleanest possible community that we could provide. So we're still not done with our big blitz on what we want to try to achieve, but things that we did accomplish thus far have been cleaning the dining room, making sure that those carpets are cleaned. Along with the bases of the tables. So hopefully you've noticed a big difference in the dining room. Your feet hopefully aren't, thank you. Hopefully your feet aren't sticking to the floor anymore. A couple of other things, had the pleasure of meeting with some residents one-on-one. One of your resident board members here, Clarice. Where's Clarice at?
Right here.
There she is. So, and a couple of other residents that I've, wanted to meet with me, and I'll certainly forward myself to you if you do want to meet with me one-on-one. I am in and out of the community, so it's not like I'm here from, 9 to 5 every day, just so you know. But if we plan and schedule a meeting, I will certainly make sure I'm here for you. We did want to introduce some fresh fruit to the continental breakfast, which is one of the things that was suggested and recommended. So hopefully you're seeing that, as a nice, suggestion that we implemented right away. And we'll change that out, seasonally based on what the fruit is, right? So we want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to enjoy their breakfast, and hopefully it's a nice day. We've got a great team here. I've had the opportunity to meet with a lot of our leaders, going over, what they do, where their hurdles are when it comes to the success of what they're trying to achieve. And my job is to make sure that I remove those hurdles so that they can be successful every day. Some other things that we had done last week, as you could probably tell, a lot of us came in dressed in our dungarees and our old shirts to really do a lot of cleanup in the community. Some touch up here, some paint here, some deep cleaning, and a lot of the areas that I felt was necessary. We're not done with it yet, but wanted to make sure that our back loading dock area was cleaned up quite extensively. Those walls were painted, because we know a lot of our residents come through that area, including our staff, right? So, and that's one of the first things our staff would see when they would come in and clock in, was a very dirty hallway, which, is emblematic, I think, when it comes to the cleanliness of the building. You see filth and you're okay with it, and the management's okay with it. Then why would you as a team member be okay with cleaning other areas if we're not going to be respectful in cleaning your space up? So those were some of the things that we really wanted to focus on. We did some big efforts on cleaning the employee break room, which I know none of you see, but that's okay. We want our staff to have a nice area where they could have a respite when they need to and enjoy their lunch in a clean atmosphere and clean space. There have been some issues, as you all know. Some of you may not be aware, but I think Christina sent out a memo about the pool closing. We had to close the pool. We had a pretty significant leak occur on Saturday in the wee hours of the morning at 2 a.m. I received a call from our front desk. Apparently the filter system in the pool cracked, which caused water to come down in the second floor, including near the concierge front desk and the lobby area. So there's been some damaged tiles there. Thank goodness Kevin Labaka, one of our maintenance team members, came in, assessed the situation, cleaned it up pretty quickly. The pool, we do have an estimate for the repair, and we're hopefully going to get that reopened within a week, if not sooner, okay? We just need to make sure that the repair works, and obviously it's a safe place for everybody to enjoy. Other issues that have come up, when I walked in, I think the TVs, everybody's been sharing with me the TVs are, I think we've sent a memo out with regards to that. We are completely upgrading the television system, okay? We're hopeful that that's going to be done this week. Now, there are going to probably be some issues once they do upgrade it, because what we did have as far as a TV system was a very archaic analog system. And I'm not trying to be technical with everybody here, but analog was a way of sending your TV signal to people that had the tube TVs, which I don't think anybody has anymore, right? It's a very fuzzy, grainy kind of visual when you're looking at your TV. So it's blurry and makes you want to think that maybe you need to get better glasses. We've gone a long ways in television today, and TJ, our plant ops director, who's been a terrific Breakers team, invested in your best interest in making this community better. But he was able to negotiate with our TV provider an upgrade to high definition TV, okay? So we're hopeful that, we can get this all implemented by this week, okay? Which will include all the channels that you're currently missing, but they'll be coming in much clearer. Now, what will probably happen is that, we're going to need to reprogram your remote control if you're not able to do it yourself, okay? So there are a lot of people. Obviously, we want to make sure we do this, as quickly as possible. If you need assistance with that, a mass team to just really focus on, coming to your apartment, making sure that those programs so that you can get back to enjoying the wonderful Food Network channel or whatever National Geographic channels you like to watch. And again, I want to thank you all for your patience on allowing us to find the right solution and the fix for this. So hopefully we can get that done for you by this week as well. Okay. There's also been a lot of question with regards to air quality as far as the cooling and the heating of the building. We've had some pretty dramatic temperature changes over the course of the last couple of weeks. I mean, we were at 105 degrees just last week, and now, we're dipping down into the 60s at night and sometimes 50s. So, as you can imagine, a community like this with the volume of space that we have, making those adjustments to a building like this is not easy, and it takes a little time. So, we can't just lower the temperature or raise the thermometer, the thermostat as you would at home, and it be pretty instant. It takes some time to do it. So, if we can't anticipate the weather, this is where we're trying to come, being a little more proactive in our approach. If we anticipate and look at the forecast, which we know weathermen, what a great job. You can, tell the weather and be wrong 50% of the time, right? I missed my calling. I should have been a weatherman. So, but if we can anticipate those adjustments so the building isn't too cool and it isn't too warm, okay? Another contributing factor to cooling the building, just so you understand, again, not to be too technical, but I think information is and knowledge is a very powerful thing. So the more I can inform you of what we're using and the tools that we have, maybe there's a better understanding as to why things take a little longer. But we have 2 chillers that are about the size of small minivans that are located way up high on the roof. These are very old chillers. As you can imagine, the community is 38 years old, so they don't even make these chillers anymore. And they use Freon. If everybody's familiar with Freon, okay, they don't even produce the Freon anymore because the EPA has basically eliminated that, but that's what these chillers use. We cannot replace these chillers because it would literally take a helicopter to remove them out, and a helicopter to bring new devices in. So there was a pretty drastic leak in one of the chillers that caused us to lose about over 300 pounds of Freon, okay, which isn't cheap. So we're getting that, and you can't operate these chillers on a low volume of Freon. Okay, so when I came to the community, I found that they were only a quarter full. All right, so we're getting them filled up with the Freon, which has been basically what is left as far as this particular Freon, because they don't make it anymore, and it's in the cost of about $17,000 just to replace the Freon. So, but once we get that Freon, filled in the chillers, number one, it will preserve the chillers, hopefully, from being, broken, and help them run more efficient. And it will allow us to really make the adjustments quicker for you as well. Okay. Couple of other things, I did speak to Eleanor over there. I know Eleanor has been very instrumental in our library, and has done a wonderful job for many, many years. She has, hasn't she? Yeah, absolutely. Give her some applause. It's great. So one of the things that I had one of our staff members do is kind of measure out, that wall that we have that, I guess at one time had bookcases but doesn't have bookcases. So we're going to get some bookcases in there. They may not match the existing bookcases, but they'll be functional until we can come up with a longer term solution. There's nothing more sad to see books laying on the floor and they have no home. The home should be on a shelf or in your lap, as you're reading them. But we want to make sure that we get the tools there for you as well. So a lot of good things are happening, gang. There's a lot for me to dissect and a lot for me to fix, but before I can fix it, I need to know what the issues are. I'm hearing from you, a lot of the, positive comments, as well as some of the things that, are concerning issues for you, and trying to prioritize them in a way that we can really tackle them the right way. I know dining is kind of an issue when it comes, for not everyone, but for some. When it comes to schedules and times, want to make sure that we're addressing that. I know housekeeping has been an issue. We've been without a housekeeping manager for quite some time. There's been a lot of turnover there, not with our line staff, but with the managers, which is a key person that will help drive that department to greater success. So, and we've been supplementing, the support for that particular department with a lot of our existing team members here as well, just to make sure that schedules are in place. Now, again, knowledge is a powerful thing, right? So one of the things that I've realized, I've emphasized this time and time to my department heads, is that communication is king, right? We may not be, the communication that we relay to you may not be the best communication as it relates to news, but it's what we know at the time, okay? And our key is to make sure that if there is an issue, that we get that communication out to you so that that we're on top of it. You also know that what we know at that time. So hopefully that diminishes any kind of rumors or concerns. But we've got a lot of things to do. So as I said, knowledge is power in housekeeping. You can imagine 34 stories, we've got housekeepers throughout the whole community. There will likely be a restructure of how our housekeepers perform their duties on a daily basis. It doesn't make sense to me when I see 3 housekeepers on one floor, right? I don't understand why we have 3 housekeepers on one floor. And I do understand it. It's probably because over the years we've developed schedules for people, and those schedules haven't changed. In order for us to be efficient and successful for you and for them, you know, we're going to have to restructure those so that these housekeepers aren't, number one, tying up the elevators. Number two, they can be very successful of cleaning your apartments on one floor for the day or 2 floors for the day. So that, you know, again, you know, we just want to make sure that we're being smarter and not trying to work harder, you know. So, you know, things like that. But also, more importantly is, you know, for us, communication is very important and when it comes to the day-to-day operations. And what I found is a lot of the radios that we really rely on have been broken, okay? So that makes it very difficult to call a housekeeper, you know, if you need something right away and they're on the 18th floor and we can't get in touch with them, we don't know where they're at. So I've asked TJ to, you know, order new radios. Obviously it's a big expense. These are not cheap radios. They're about $300-400 a radio. But they're necessary in order for us to be successful with our day-to-day operations. You know, so a lot of these things that we just really need to hone in and tighten in to make sure, again, we're providing the best that we can for you. You know, we are looking at also a new sign-in process at the front desk for your guests and the providers that come into the community. Technology's come a long way. We utilize a system called AccuShield, which will allow us to you know, have each provider that comes in for whatever reasons to sign in, to make sure that they're going to see the person that they're supposed to see. And then we'll have logs of all of that. That will be electronic. Same thing with your guests. And for some of you that may have guests that are restricted, you don't want them to come in, we can put them in that system to make sure that if they do sign in, they're not allowed to come in, okay? So our safe environment for you. Also, you know, a wonderful place for you to live. I had mentioned before at the community meeting that we had that, you know, there are a lot of things that I want to provide for you from the standpoint of outside providers, okay? One of the greatest things that, you know, I have right now is experience in this industry that I want to be able to share the best practices with you. I've seen providers that have come into this community that have no business being a provider, okay? I'm very aware of who's good and who's bad out there, okay? Now, that doesn't mean that they can't come in. If you like them, you know, okay, that's your choice because we're all about choice here. But what I do want to provide to you is the or people that we would say these are our preferred providers that, you know, you can use or not. One of the things that, you know, I spoke with Clarice about was, and others here was, you know, bringing in a physician service group. I know that there was a survey that went out. Yeah. We've had a pretty great response so far. I think about 75 to 100 people have responded to that. We are setting up a health fair for you all to meet with the physician service group along with the other preferred providers that we would recommend you utilizing if and when, even if not, you so that you're aware of who they are. You know, we support them in their efforts, but again, you know, that the physician services is really key. It's not a service that would replace your doctor or your specialists. I mean, it could if you wanted them to, but it's there to be more proactive in your care, okay? You know, everything that you see in healthcare today is an emphasis on being proactive in your care, okay? You go to the doctor when you're sick, right? And, you know, if you own a vehicle or had a car, I think the analogy I gave you last time is that, well, if you buy a car and you drive the car and you don't take care of it with oil changes, tire rotations, you know, and all the necessary things to make sure your car lives a long life, if you treat your body that way, guess what's gonna happen, you know? Something catastrophic will occur where you actually need at that point to see a doctor. We call that a sick health system, okay? And the whole country is really shifting, as should you, and you should have the opportunity to have the services to go to a wellness system, right? Instead of waiting for something to happen, be proactive in your care and measures. So that's what this is all about, and I strongly encourage all of you whether you have your primary physicians and specialists in place and you're comfortable, I strongly encourage all of you to sign consents when meet with the physician service group, and you'll be surprised. I mean, there's nothing better than having a physician group that you don't have to pay for because it's covered under your insurance. If you're sick, the last thing you want to do is get out of your bed and go drive to the doctor. What better, circumstances than to actually have a doctor that can come to you, so it's like having a boutique doctor without having to pay for it. So these are good things that, again, a lot of different services that I want to provide and at least offer up to you so that you know that you have options. But more importantly, I'm here and I'm going to make this community a much better place with a lot of your suggestions, a lot of your recommendations, some that I can implement and some that I can't. I'm very transparent. You'll have nothing but respect from me. And I think we're going to do some great things here. So I'm going to pass this on. I think TJ, our great leader in plant ops, and he did a terrific job, by the way, at that blitz that we had. We had about 35 people from all different communities, including our management company, painting walls and cleaning things out. We filled up 2 30 cubic yard roll-offs full of garbage. Okay. I mean, that's a lot of garbage, let me tell you. And then we had, I don't know, 2 big truckloads of scrappers come out picking up garbage. So I feel a lot better that we got the garbage out. Now we got some good stuff and we can focus on the cleaning and all the fun stuff of fine-tuning the mechanicals. But I want to thank you all. And again, we got a great team. You are amazing people. And I thank you all for choosing us to be your home. We're going to do everything we can do to make sure that we meet your expectations and hopefully exceed them. So thank you very much.
Hello, Breakers family. I'm very happy to see all of you. I have good news, some not so good news, and some great news. One of the good news is this will be our last community meeting being broadcast in standard definition, as our esteemed leader told you. We are excited to get that going by the end of this week, have everything upgraded to HD. Memos will be going out for permission to enter to your units. As you know, unless it's an emergency, we can't come to your units without 48 hours notice. And we will have to come in to reprogram the televisions, as Ted mentioned. You can give us permission to come in earlier, and I highly recommend, if you'd like that taken care of quickly, that you do so. You can also program yourself if you know how to. It's pretty easy. Also try to post instructions so you guys can walk yourselves through, if at all possible. But as always, my team will be here to support you. Some of the not so great things, obviously I've been out of the community Friday and Monday, but we had an incident with the pool. I actually have I'm looking at bids right now to get it replaced, and we're hoping to have that done ASAP so it can open up. We always want to provide all the amenities possible to our residents here. I also have some other good news on some subjects you've been asking about. Next week I will be out to have my baby, as you all know, but the week after we will start. I will make sure to send Molly pictures to put on the board, I promise. The week after we will start filter changes. I know everyone has been asking. We are going to begin the week after Labor Day week. We will be working in a very regimented style. We're going to start at the top of the building and work our way down, hopefully about 2 floors a day, 3 take about a week and a half to get it all done. I know that's a bit of a delay, but please keep in mind it is 470 filters for me and my 3-man team. Things are trending better at the Breakers. They are getting better, but we still have issues. I know I'm working very hard trying to make as many of you as happy as possible, but I cannot currently get everyone. And we will soon. My team is a little stretched thin, covering years of stuff that should have been done, but now that Ted's here, it's really getting taken care of in a proper manner. I'm excited for some of these other things we're going to be able to provide soon. As Ted said, we're going to be making changes to the housekeeping schedule, so we don't have this type of confusion and overturn that we've been having. Once we get everything balanced in the schedule and set, we hope to just continue riding along smoothly and everyone gets the treatment they deserve. I am gonna coordinate with the team. I would like to have a meeting on housekeeping in the next couple months so we can clearly set the standards of what we will do, what services we provide, and what services, unfortunately, we don't provide. I think that clarity of scope will really help everyone. If you know exactly what to expect, and my team knows exactly what to give to you, then we could be on the same page. When we have that miscommunication, we cause arguments, it causes questioning, and I really think all that information will be helpful to everyone as a team. As far as other maintenance issues in the building, we've started a set schedule for pest control to come to the building. They're going to be here to inspect for pests. You're going to see them. You're going to get memos a couple days before they arrive when it's time to go on your floor, so you know we'll be coming in. But I just want everybody to feel very comforted by the fact that every 2 weeks, dogs will enter our community and check for any pest issues. So instead of not seeing them for a couple months at a time, you will see them bi-monthly, multiple times, and we will be on top of any problems. If you have any issues, remember, always let the front desk know as soon as possible so we could really take care of you in a more personalized manner. Another thing that I have to tell everyone, I want to make sure, I am not in my office very often. I don't know if you guys see me, I am always in the building running around. I do not hear your messages for a day or two, and it usually takes me about a day to get back to you. If you have an immediate concern, if you need to put in a work order, please call the front desk and follow the process for that. Because I've had some instances where people called me, they didn't leave voicemails, I didn't know what they wanted, and it turned out they had an issue. I don't want you to be lost in the system like that. So please call the front desk and put in a work order, and then I know sometimes people want to talk to me personally about something, and I will, but if it's a pending concern, like you need your carpet cleaned, there's stains, you have a drippy faucet, your light bulbs are out, just put a work order in the front desk. You're going to get a much better response time by following the process. Unfortunately, I get many messages that don't accrue to me, so I have to go through 40, 50 voicemails every 2 days. And that's a bit of a process, and I don't want any of you guys to feel forgotten. If I have forgotten anything for any of you, I just want you to know it was not on purpose. I am truly doing my best for each and every one of you. I'm happy to serve you and any of your needs in this community, and I would like to open it up for questions because I know someone has some. And let's start off. Rana?
Did you hire someone new for housekeeping?
The question was, have we hired somebody new as a housekeeping manager? Yes, and it has not worked out, and we're going to be looking at other options as of today, yes. I will be sitting with Ted hopefully later today to discuss this very issue, and we want to have a new manager in as soon as possible.
I was so thrilled to discover that the TV service was going to be upgraded. But it leaves me with a burning question. We had DirecTV service at the condo that I came from, and we were able to, the provider of the bulk package, we were able to contract directly with that provider to get a box for taping service, and we could get premium channels at our own cost, and even they have an on-demand service, DirecTV does. Are we going to be able to access any of that at our own cost to add to our service?
Our current agreement does not include that. It doesn't mean I cannot bring this up to the vendor and talk about possibilities. I do not make promises, you guys know. If I don't know for sure, I could give it to you. But I can promise I could bring this up. We'll be talking to them, they'll be here tomorrow. I could bring this option up. It may be a no, that's just the truth. But it doesn't hurt for me to ask and try to do my best. If it is an option, we'll let you know on an individual basis how we would go through with that.
What did she want?
Oh, I'm sorry. The question was, with our new TV package, would at your own cost, would residents be able to customize packages in their unit? If they were able to order premium channels or DVR or anything like that, recording. And the answer was, I don't know, and I'm not sure. But I can speak to them and at least get that information. It may be a no, it may be a yes, but I promise I will speak to them and get the answers for you. And disperse it to you, obviously.
You get the cost too.
I will do my best for that, but that might be an individual thing.
Okay. Also on the TV, is this new system going to have a guide channel? We have all these wonderful channels and you can't tell what's going on.
So there is going to be a digital channel listing, which I believe is supposed to tell us what channel each channel is, but I don't know if it's going to have a live guide of what's coming on.
I have another question. about the pool. While the pool is down, this would be a good time to fix the ceiling in the pool. Has anybody considered that?
She said while the pool is down, this may be a good time to fix this ceiling. Has anyone considered that? Yes, actually we have, and we have plumbers coming to the building later this week and early next week to do full assessments of our systems, and we're actually that's part of it. We're going to try to see if we get that all taken care of before the pool gets open while it's emptied. Thank you for the question.
I don't have a clue how to program my control. How do I sign up for someone to come and do it for me?
The question was that she doesn't know how to reprogram her television and her control. How does she sign up for when the service cost is over? The answer is we're going to have a memo out to you with distinct instructions. It will most likely be a work order to the front desk, but we're not going to have the regular turnaround time. Those work orders will be directly routed to my team in the field, and as we come down the building, we'll work our way down. Everyone who puts that request in while we're on your floor, we'll try to get you done en masse. We do ask, if you want to get it done as quickly as humanly possible, you're going to have to give us permission to enter and just knock it out for you. I understand if you don't want people in your unit, that is your choice, this is your home, but if you do want it done as speedily as possible, I would recommend giving us permission just so we could come in, start the programming, move to the next unit, and when we finish programming them all, we'll run through and make sure they all work correctly. But it will be a work order program, but we will give it to live and to my guys in the field on the radio. Next question?
I have a second television set.
I keep putting.
One second, ma'am, it was the gentleman to the right. Go ahead, sir.
I have a second television set. Is it possible to get another remote unit? So I'd have two remote units.
He said he has a secondary television, and would it be possible to get another remote so he has a remote for each of his televisions? There's two options for this. We do have universal remotes. We provide at a cost of $15. They're basic universal remotes. You can also always order your own universal remote or remote for your television online or in any Target or Walmart, but we do have universal remotes for $15. That is correct, $15. That also includes us programming it. So just so everybody's worried, that includes time and labor and it working in your days.
And that goes on our bill.
Yes, that would go on your monthly statement.
I keep putting work orders in to have my carpet cleaned and I never hear anything.
The question was, the statement was, she had been putting work orders in to have her carpet cleaned and she hasn't heard anything. The answer to that is poor communication on my department's part. We will be more open and more available. We are shorthanded. All carpet cleanings are several weeks out at this point as we schedule them with our team. But it is my failing that we didn't properly advise you of that. So I can tell you now, and I'll continue talking on a per diem basis, all carpet cleans will have to be scheduled several weeks out. We are shorthanded and no manager, and we're doing our best to get everybody clean. And some of these cleanings are pretty labor intensive. I mean, I have to have somebody there for 2 hours. That's a quarter of a shift, a quarter of a day for one carpet. And think, all the carpets here. I will link up with you after this meeting to get your unit, and I can see where you are on the timeline, just so you're updated, all right, ma'am?
Yeah, I've been putting it in for a year.
I understand, ma'am. I will link up with you. Next question.
How do I get rid of kind of electronic things like a shredder or a computer? How do I get rid of them?
The question was, how does she get rid of electronics, like a shredder or a computer? Depending on the electronic you have, if it meets certain hazardous material lines, we would have to collect it and send it to us, but you'd have to get a special service. Most shredders and computers aren't under that, and we could put it in our dumpsters. It's covered under our contract to take away such material. You just have to kind of get it out to the back dumpster. Or if you want, always remember my team is available to hire as labor, so they could do these type of things for you. It's $30 for half an hour minimum. You're probably not going to find much better labor rates for maintenance in the city unless you want to bring someone outside in. But depending, if you get it to the back dumpsters, we could get it in there for you. I don't want anybody here hurting themselves trying to toss a computer in the dumpster. All right, hold on one sec. Let me hit this side.
Can you provide a list of those things so that we would know what to separate and what does go to the dumpster and what doesn't?
Provide a list of what is allowed to throw in our dumpster and what isn't. I think that's a great idea, and I will reach out to LRS to see exactly what the list is and get it populated to you, because that is a great piece of information for everyone involved. Yes, sir?
Will part of the plumbing assessment be to evaluate water pressure? I've noticed a substantial decline in my department, both in the hot and the cold water.
Yes, that is part of the question was, will the assessment of the plumbing checking water pressure. That is part of the overall picture we're looking for. We want to seal all leaks, and by sealing all leaks, we don't introduce air to the lines and hopefully increase pressure. And then we're going to be looking at our valves. As we work through and we get through this big process, we're rebuilding pressure relief valves. PRV valves are what provide water to the higher tiers, and we're working through to get them all replaced and serviced on a schedule now, so we no longer have these issues. Once everything's up and going, we should be at our peak pressure. But it is a time-consuming process, so please give us time. All right, there's.
Did we have any toxic, poisonous stuff that are in containers in the apartment? The only place you can't put them in the garbage, they have to go to the poison center in Illinois. Chicago has one area. Are you going to in any way collect those? Or?
The question was, if you have hazardous materials in your unit, they have to be brought to a hazardous material disposal center in Chicago, and will we in any way handle that? The answer to that is I would have to ask further, because according to my understanding of the system, we are not allowed to do it, because that program is only for residents and only for renters and homeowners. It is not for commercial enterprises, as the breakers and my team would be. So we actually don't qualify for any of those programs. We have to pay for all that separately. So it may be a situation that you have to bring yourself there. I'll talk to the city and see if possibly we could just provide the transportation there. Maybe one day we could schedule a bus run to get all this stuff going. Like I said, I can't make guarantees, but if they would allow that, I'd be happy to work with Molly and the rest of the team to try to make that happen. But I just know we cannot take anything there because we're a commercial enterprise and they will not accept it. And I don't want us to get there and nobody takes it.
Well, I noticed you collect batteries, but I think that's a different way a different thing.
The statement was that they see we collect batteries, and is that a different? Yes, that is actually a different collection center. Those batteries they are hazardous, but they also have a recycling program to get some of the heavy metals and stuff out of them. It is a separate thing. And as you see, we're waiting until it gets enough to make it worth our time to take it all the way to that center. It doesn't make sense to take 5 pounds of batteries at a time. The travel time would just kill it. Thank you for your question. Who else?
That was exactly my question.
Oh, excellent. We have any more questions today?
One more. Does the re-energizing and the plumbing take it, like now it's very comfortable in here.
Mm-hmm.
Many times I have to put on a jacket and a shawl in the dining room. Why do sometimes we have to wear heavy jackets during dinner or breakfast? Is that all being readjusted and taken care of?
The question is, why do you sometimes have to wear heavy jackets or sweaters in the common areas of the building? And why is it kept so cool, I believe is kind of the gist. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yeah.
All right. I'll give you the most honest answer I possibly can. Every single day, 20 people come up to me and talk to me about the temperature in the breakers. 5 people believe it's too cold. 5 people believe it's too hot. 10 people believe it's just right. I am sorry. I try to keep it at the best temperature for everyone, and sometimes we miss a little, especially temperature just went from 120 degrees to 75 degrees. This is a 34-story building. It takes several days to readjust the whole temperature, so you could have burnt to death in the heat wave or been a little chilly on the other 2 sides. I give you a better answer, but that's the reality. I can't keep everyone. Some people are cold, some people are hot, and unfortunately, if we have to choose one of those 2 options, people can always put a sweater on, but if you're too hot, there's not so much you can take off before you can't come to our common areas. Do we have anything else today?
Yeah, lots of good luck to you and your wife next week, and let Molly know what's happening.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
There he is.
Here I am. Hi. If you didn't know, I work with Kristen, George, and Penny in the marketing department. So I'll try to keep this short. We have been very, very busy. Lots of tours, lots of move-ins, and we do want to thank everyone who is very supportive when we're out there doing our tours. And there's a lot of people that are very overly nice to us and supportive. So we appreciate that as always. And we had a really great event last week with Nicole Hollander's new book release, and we had about 50 people at that, so that was great. And yeah, just looking forward to keep growing the community. If anyone does give us a referral from a family or friend who is interested in moving in and they move in, that's $1,000 rent credit in after 3 months that they've been here. So, any questions, I guess?
You're doing a good
Rana.
job.
Yeah, I've
Thank
lived
you.
here for 5.5 years in the same apartment. Why is it that some apartments, I mean, on my floor, I think there's 5 empty apartments,
Okay.
and it's been that way for almost forever.
And I'm sorry, what is your apartment number again?
14F.
14. Okay.
Like the one next door to me, it has to be 2 years that it's empty. The
Oh.
one down the hall, 2 years. From 1 to 2 years. Why is that? I understand, people look at apartments, they decide what they want, but are these apartments being shown?
The answer is, oh, I'm sorry. So Rana's question, she's on the 14th floor, and she said there are many, 4 or 5 apartments on your floor are open and available and have been for a long time. So all I can say to that is talk to Kristen. No, just kidding. We do a pretty good job of giving people different options when we do these tours. Usually we show at least 2 or 3 apartments on different floors. Some of them only want studios, some want 1 bedrooms, some want a low floor, high floor. So it really depends on what people really are looking for, but we are really focusing on selling every apartment. So that's all I can say, is that we are trying our best to, prepare apartments and show appropriate apartments and move people in.
Thank you. I mean, it
Sure.
works to my advantage. I can play music late at night. Doesn't bother
Okay.
me.
But thank you. Yes.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, because I keep hearing these terms all the time. You just referred to selling the apartment.
Well, I'm
Are we
sorry,
condo or
renting
are
the
we
apartment.
renting?
Yes.
Renting.
That is,
Because buildings have gone both ways.
right. So just for clarification, not to confuse people, but I'm in the sales and marketing department, so sometimes we refer to like, oh, we sold an apartment. But of course, everyone knows we are all rental apartments, so I apologize about any confusion on that. All right. Clarice.
It's come to my attention that in the website that there are places that we're listed as an assisted living facility.
Yes.
And we're not an assisted living facility. Can you clarify?
Yes, so Clarice, her question was that, or statement was that on some websites, the Breakers is listed as assisted living. We are definitely independent living here with care options available, and of course, everyone knows a caregiver from outside the building as well. I will talk to Kristen about that. We are aware, and I've noticed that too. I've actually pointed that out to Kristen, but some places, well, we advertise in a lot of places, we're listed on a lot of websites, a lot of people, organizations outside, sometimes they get it wrong. So I apologize about that. But we'll fix it and be very clear with people. We are independent living. Yes. Any other questions? Oh, I have one other thing I want to say, is that if anyone likes plants or gardening at all, June Hewitt and I are doing our monthly houseplant chat, which actually we changed dates, but it's this coming Thursday. It's also in the Buzz. This Thursday at 1 p.m. in the suburbs, so by the piano downstairs. So
And hopefully I'll see some of you there. Thank you. Oh, Martha, yes.
How many people do we have in the building now?
That is good. The question was how many people currently are in the building? Yes. The answer is I don't know exactly, but it's around 370. We're around 370 right now.
And 450 is the top, right?
Give or take some apartments. Some apartments are not available, or they're someone is their guest suite or something like that. Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you. Have a good day.
Hello, I'm Avery, Human Resources Manager. About a month ago, or about 2 months ago, we honored Daniel from our maintenance team with a Heart of Caring Award by several of our residents and team members. And so in about a month from now, we will be choosing our next designee. And so I've been getting lots and lots of comment cards. And I really appreciate hearing all of your feedback. And so if anyone else has been standing out to you as someone that has been doing a job, please put in those nominations. There's cards in the mailroom, and there's also cards at the front desk. I'll take your nominations any way you can get it to me. I mentioned earlier, we've been putting focus on not only the resident spaces, but the team spaces as well. Having a team that feels recognized and cared for does wonders. And so I'm actually going to be back down there painting more later to make sure that the break room is super pretty and comfortable space for them. I've been really enjoying taking the time to recognize our team members. Some of you may have saw our picnic, our employee picnic that we had a couple weeks ago out in the courtyard. It was a really fun day. We invited their families. We played games. We had prizes, food. It was such an awesome time, and I really enjoy getting to plan those events. We do something for the team members every month, by the way, just to try to keep things fun so that they can take that good energy and put it back into serving you all. I've been spending the last few weeks, really the whole summer, working towards what's called the August staffing cliff. It's when all the students go back to school and all of a sudden we're short-staffed everywhere. And so I've been trying to be proactive with getting more people staffed so that we can avoid any shortages, any gaps in our service. We did have 2 concierge join our team recently. Julian, who will be working mostly overnights and weekends. And then we have Reese. She's going to be here this afternoon at 3. Come say hi to her. She's working the evening shift. We also have another housekeeper that just started this week. It's very pleasant. He's been doing wonderfully so far, so please make sure that you extend a warm welcome to him. And we also have added some more servers to the team. As some of you may have noticed, a lot of our server team is students, people that can come and go, that typically any food service role is going to have a high turnover. And so I've been working to try to bring in more people that are going to be consistent and that'll stay a long time. So continue to show them your respect. As long as we're friendly and nice, that definitely helps keep people around longer. So that's pretty much what I have. Does anyone have any questions, comments for me? Yes?
About the housekeeping manager position, and I know that you just recently lost someone that you just hired. Can you give us any idea why that spot is so hard to fill?
Yes, Clarice asked about the housekeeping manager position and why we've been struggling to get that position filled. As we've mentioned earlier, we're doing a lot of catch-up. There's been some neglect in that department over several years, and so interview well, we bring them in, they say, yes, I'm ready for the challenge, yes, I can do it, and then they see it and are very overwhelmed. And so We do have a strong prospect in today. We'll be able to make an offer to. As TJ mentioned, he and Ted are going to talk about it. But we do want to bring in someone that is strong, that has a lot of experience, that not only doesn't mind getting dirty and helping out, but also has strong management skills, because that has been lacking. And so, again, we do apologize for the gaps in service. I know housekeeping has been a long-standing issue. We're just a person that can do the job. I'm always scared.
Is the salary competitive?
The salary is within the guidelines of what Senior Lifestyle offers for a building of this size, and with the size of the team as well. Yeah. Yes.
How does the upcoming holiday affect the people who have housekeeping on Monday?
Yes, so she was asking about the upcoming holiday with the housekeeping schedule. Christina is working on sending out a memo to people that normally have Monday housekeeping about the different options that'll be available, because our housekeepers will be taking that day off. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, you all. It's lovely chatting with you.
Hello everyone, I'm Jessica, the dining room manager. As Avery stated, we do have a lot of new servers coming in, back to school, as you all can see. So we're just trying to keep up with the staff and just keep you guys happy as much as we can. Any questions, anybody?
Thank you. I'm representing the table. I sit with the dinner. Can we do something at 4:07? We're still finishing, depending on when we get in. You know, we may not have been served until later, but at 4:07, we don't want to have our dinner accompanied by vacuum.
Okay.
People have said we want to get out of here. That's why we're vacuuming.
Okay, so the question was, can I tell them not to vacuum 6:45? I can do that. I can change it. They can vacuum at 7. They will start at 7, because then they'll have an hour to clean, because they're scheduled from 2 to 8. Go ahead.
Hi, Jessica.
Hey.
We have a problem if we're supposed to leave at 5 and we get in there at 3:45, we get served our dinner, but then there's a long delay between dinner and being asked what we want for dessert, and then getting dessert, and it's time to scoop, and we have just gotten our dessert.
So your question is?
So the question is, why does it have to be that way?
Okay.
We need to be served in a regular basis so we can get out.
Okay, so your question is, how do they get the dessert there to you quicker? I'll make sure that I do like a rundown of how fast they're supposed to bring out your dessert.
One of my biggest complaints about the dining room is too often whoever is washing dishes or wrapping silverware or whatever, everything is filthy. I had to get 2 spoons, get it twice, to get cereal today. This happens constantly. Half the food from yesterday's meal is still left on it. Same thing with the, or there'll be cups in the handles and they're still put out again. Your staff has to be trained to look at the stuff. I'm not even talking about how long it might take to do, but they need to look at the stuff, not grab a spoon that might still be filthy and wrap it up in the napkin.
Okay, so the question is looking before they wrap?
Yeah.
Okay.
Clean stuff. I don't want to eat somebody else's germs.
No, I agree. I'll make sure we can run through another training on how to properly.
Well, I kind of had the same thing this morning. There was egg on the fork, and I don't know if it's the dishwasher or the soap not working, the glasses come out looking terrible. They've got streaks and they just go around and pick some up and take a look. You wouldn't want to go out and eat
Right.
or in your own home and eat with glasses that look like that and silverware that has food on it.
Okay, so again, the question about making sure the way they set the tables, I will train them again with that.
It may not even be the server.
I'll check the dishwasher as well and make sure that it's at the right temperature.
Check their eyes also.
Well, unfortunately, I can't check their eyes, but I can train them and show them how to do it again.
They know how to do it, they don't bother looking at the wrapping.
It's become a major problem because several times the silverware is wet, and I don't know if it's soapy or not, you don't want to use it, and the glasses are starting getting streaked. So I think there is a real problem in the trays. You pull a tray and it's wet.
Okay, I'll check
So
the,
that has become a real problem, and so it is a good thing to bring up.
I will.
The other thing I wanted to mention is they can, most people, you can ask for what you want for dessert or meal, and you can around the same time, then you have it. Because I try and do that. That way I have it, and it's easier to, leave it through or through coffee.
yeah,
The dishwasher is a major situation right now, because this has just started suddenly, where I've come across it several times in the glasses, I don't even want to use them, I want to bring mine home. So something has changed, and it should be addressed.
okay. So again, about the dishwasher, I will go down right after I leave here and address that right away. And the second question was about, you said two things.
Yeah, they can, dessert can be ordered with dinner.
Yeah, if that's what you prefer, everyone has their own way of how they like their food ordered. So if you have a specific way that you like, you can always tell the server, and I can tell them to ask too.
As a regular average of time, and then you can, that way you're going to get all the food.
Yeah, once again, you'll get someone who say they don't like it that way. So if you have a specific way you like it, let them know, and they can adjust. Yes.
Okay.
The servers all have a different process in which they go through the sequence.
Okay.
Each server needs to be trained that there's a specific order and a time frame in which these things are being done.
Mhm.
They all vary.
Okay.
So I think it's time that they need to be trained so they have that same service, the same order. Some take the meal at the beginning, some take just the food and come back and don't come back and everything like that. There is a way to do this efficiently, it's just not being done efficiently.
All right. Once again, I'll run through the training with them, but as I stated before, some people like it a certain way and some like it different. I've noticed that different tables like a way. So if they are trained, we have a way that they are trained. If you like your food all at once, you can just tell them, bring it all at once. If you like yours, salad, soup, that's fine too.
Can you have TJ maybe look at the equipment or put it on his list of things to either upgrade or
Yes.
renovate or do whatever it needs to be?
Yes.
Something that needs to be adjusted?
Yes, I'll get with TJ as soon as I leave.
Just
I'm going to replace you.
Thank you.
Sorry, everyone. I'm taking Jessica off the stage because it's already noon and I have 2 people to cover. So, hello everyone. I am Molly Rodriguez. I'm the Director of Resident Programming. Thank you. But first I'm going to be Christina. Christina is on a meeting right now for our upcoming resident survey, not to be confused with the health and wellness survey, but this is the survey that we have every year that just talks about what you all would like to see in our community and gives us some goals for the next year. So I have my Christina hat on. On Thursday, September 14th, we are going to have that health and wellness fair that Ted was mentioning. That'll be coming up and you will see more information about that. We will be having flu shots on September 26th from 12 to 4 p.m. That'll be right up here. There will be a memo going out asking you to fill out some paperwork for your flu shot, but know that those are coming. The bicycles, the new bike racks were installed. If you are missing your bicycle, please let the front desk know and they can pass it along to Christina. All untagged move to a different space to make space on the new racks. And if those bikes are not claimed, they are going to be donated. So if you have a bike, if you don't, call the front desk. We ask that you do not store grocery carts, odds and ends. We have seen gallons of water, just all different stuff in the garages and also by those bike racks. Please do not store stuff there because also it blocks the walkway, and if it goes missing, we wouldn't know it was yours. So let's see what's next. That resident survey that she's working on, that day will be September 18th. It'll give you an opportunity to give feedback and suggestions. We'll give you more information about that. Since the last survey, some of the items residents suggested that have been implemented are upgrading things in the community, such as ceiling tiles, furniture, painting, more physical activities. We partnered with Cimbria to get more exercise classes and various garage upgrades. So Christina, if anybody has questions for Christina, I will write them down. I will not try to answer if I don't know. I saw Marian's hand first.
Are we going to get COVID boosters?
Marian asked about COVID boosters. I will ask Christina. I know at the last meeting they hadn't announced anything yet about COVID boosters, but they did recently. And so I will ask her about that COVID booster. If it's time for us to have one, we would be having it in building. It would just be setting that up. Martha.
RSV vaccine.
Martha asked if we would be having an RSV vaccine. That I'll bring it up to Christina. I'm not so sure about that one. Lynn.
This is for us. You don't even have to answer it. I was on the program committee for a lot of years, and every year we had the thing with, give us suggestions. What do you like? What would you like to see more of? What don't you? People, I'll sit in the dining room or I'll sit in the coffee shop, and I'll listen to people talking, and they're complaining about this, that, or the other thing. But then we would get the form fill out, and nobody would have a suggestion, or there'd be 300 forms sent out and 50 filled and sent back. If you have or you want more stuff or different types of stuff, write it down and turn it in. Don't keep blaming us because we don't have a big variety.
I wouldn't. So Lynn said, when you get the surveys, fill them out. If you have suggestions, which I agree. I don't think anybody's blaming people about anything, but when you get the survey, if you have an idea, no matter if it's programming, this is a whole building-wide survey. So it could be, I'm sure had our TV equipment not being upgraded right now, you might say, oh, staticky, or we're missing channels. And so it's a good way to hear about problems before they become bigger problems, and like I said, to give us goals to work on going forward. So if you ever do have things you would like to see, the survey is a good place. And also we just elected a new resident board. The board members and chairs of all the committees, they are posted in the mail room. And so those are good people to talk to also. If you want to see something, if the person for that department is not readily available, you're welcome to talk to them. Like I said, I'm in the program department. Tom McCaskey is the chair of the program committee. You can talk to either of us about any programming ideas. Okay, Rosemarie?
I was lax in sending in that survey sheet, but I've had second thoughts, and am I right in listening to what people have said? you're going to have a health fair so that we'll be able to know more detail of what they provide?
Rosemarie asked about turning in the survey and then about the health fair. Yes, the health fair is Thursday, September 14th. We will have these various physicians and groups come, and they will be in the suburbs with tables set up so you can walk around and learn about who they are and what they do.
So rather, even if I didn't send my survey in, I'll be able to ask questions.
If you have a survey, send it in anyway, but anybody, whether you turned in a survey or not, will be able to attend. Okay, any last question? Maybe one more, Duana?
Well, I'm trying to do a positive thing here. These health fairs are really good because we had them where I lived before, once a year. And you just go in there and you have all these little booths where you learn what services are available.
Yes.
So that is a good idea.
She was saying that health fairs are a great benefit and everybody should attend. You get to meet everybody quickly and learn about them, so definitely mark your calendars. Okay, I'm taking off my Christina hat and putting on my programming hat. So in September, we are starting Brain Health University. If you've done Brain Health University before, please join us again. If you haven't, come join us anyway. I will be doing an info session this Thursday at 11:30 to just talk about what Brain Health University is. Basically, it is a put together by our corporation, Senior Lifestyle. All Senior Lifestyle communities participate in this, and it is a set type of programs. We will be doing, I believe, it's 10 or 12 over the whole month of September, and they are all about brain wellness, but through fun, different programs. So if you want to learn more about that, please come to my info session on Thursday or join us for the first Friday. We have our community memorial day at 1 o'clock. We will be remembering 11 residents that passed away in the past quarter. All to come join. It's a hard thing to do, to remember so many people at one time, but it's very lovely when we have friends and neighbors sharing stories, sharing memories about these folks. Grand Day is September 10th. Parents' Day, we have a variety of programs. We invite you all to invite your families or your friends to come out. We will have a magician, a caricature artist. We will be having Girl Scout cookie bingo again, so a variety of things. Again, that is Sunday, September 10th. In September, I have to mention it or else I will get a million voicemails. Wine Club is being moved one day. So if you go to Wine Club, it is not the last Thursday of the month, it is the last Friday of the month, which is the 29th. And Penny, our move-in coordinator, will be hosting Wine Club with one of her friends that is a wine expert. So it is a very special wine club, but just know to mark your calendar, not the last Thursday, but again, the last Friday, the 29th. This Thursday, with help from Rana and the library committee, there will be a free book giveaway. They will be having all the books on the floor balcony, and everybody is welcome to go pick out some books. These are not the books from the library. They are books that were donated for us to do this. Again, a big part thanks to Rana Jacobs. So, we are also looking for any residents that would like to help volunteer with weekend bingo. We have Shantae on Sundays, and we have concierge home care on Fridays, but we are looking for some help with our Saturday bingos, so if you're interested in helping, please let me know. Any questions?
Thank you for your wonderful work.
No questions, my goodness. Oh, thank you, Janice. One question, Gail.
We're gonna list out the September activities on Wednesday.
I'll go through it real quick. I was cutting my time short, I'm sorry. Okay, Gail asked for a quick run through of our trips for September. I'll go through them really quick, and they will also be on your newsletter that should be coming in a couple days here. On the 6th, the Wednesday, September 6th, we are going to the Cubs game. On the 13th, we are going to the Lincoln Park Conservatory. We are doing 2 trips there. On the 20th, we are going to the Oriental Institute and then to a Chinese buffet for dinner. The 27th, the Museum of Contemporary Arts. We have been having a lot of requests for trips,
And so we are doing our best to accommodate all those trips, but also we only have 4 or 5 Wednesdays depending on the month. So just be patient if there is something you want to see, and we'll do our best to make it work. Any other questions? Okay. Have a great day, everyone. I hope to see you all here at 1 o'clock for our memorial service.
Sorry, just stop just so you can